Hi everybody, this is Diane, and I have one final little autumn journal to share with you before I move on to other types of journals. This one is in another single signature, and it's 5¼ by 8. It is made with a file folder cover with fabric on the front and inside of the covers. I wrapped it with this pretty, it's kind of a deep grayish burgundy. I thought it went well with the colors. Sari silk. It's the only color of sari silk that I had that was even close, but I think it goes well with it. And it's a long piece, so you can wrap it around. It is made with this beautiful paisley fabric. There's a little bit of gold highlight in there if you can see it on camera. I don't know if you can. And I just did some collage on the front with this trim that I think I got that from a bundle from Sheila Gingrich on Boho Daydreams. And vintage tatting, vintage lace, some more of that sari silk, and this boho piece of sequined applique and an embroidered ribbon here. And this is a little pocket. So I tucked this little playing card in here. Very old. And you can leave it there if you want to. And if you just want the cover to look like that, you can remove the card and put it elsewhere in the book. There is this pretty fabric on the inside and a vintage file tab with a metal file. It is so cool. I love these. And I put in the one that says F for fall. And a little bit of ephemera here, digital ephemera that came from Eclectic Eggplant, and as well as that feather. This came from a Reader's Digest book. And I made this journal using, I think they were the last stamps I got from Lorna at Tailor Made Journals. She's moved on to other stamps since then. This was no longer available. And this is just a digital copy of a postcard that I have in my collection. This postcard, the original postcard, belonged to my great-great-grandmother. And like I said, I used quite a few vintage things, and this is one of them. It's an envelope from Stockholm. I believe Karina sent this to me a long time ago. And you can see the Swedish language on there. Some stamps. There's a bit of kind of a silky fabric, a chiffon type of fabric, and a bulb pin and this little charm with a tree, like a tree of life emblem. And I did little bits of collages with just little scraps and little pieces of digital ephemera and other things. This is a digital advertisement and a little tab there with some fabric and lace and a playing card. I just pulled things out of my stash that match the colors of my book, so they don't, this isn't necessarily a fall card, but the colors match. And I did this stenciling on it, Edith Holden page. This is a dyed page. I'm not sure what it's dyed with. I got it in a bundle of stuff. And it has a vintage envelope on it. And it says the oldest chapel west of the Alleghenies, Western Reserve Academy, Hudson, Ohio. So I put it on as a tuck spot. You can put something behind it. I tucked this old postcard of a chair inside the envelope, but there's room to put something behind the envelope too. And this is a little vintage collar piece from a baby outfit, and I stamped Style Vintage, Finest Quality Brand. And this is a printable, and it's printed onto some textured paper, really nice. And I included this letter from 1949. And this is a digital, William Morris paper digital. Just a little fabric collage there, and another bulb pin with a pine cone hanging on it. And a collage at the bottom with wallpaper and a piece of silky fabric. On the back of the digital paper is another digital, which is some trees and lines for writing. Probably can't see the lines very well, but they're there. This is a little half-page pocket that I made with some patterned cardstock. And I just put this image on the front, which came out of a book. This is a prize piece. I love this. I got it at the flea market. I was finding a lot of ink blotters this year, and this was one of them. It's just so beautiful with the fall. And the ink blotters that I found were advertisements. And I love the phone number, phone 99W. This is a stationer though, so no wonder it's so beautiful. Sydney, New York. I don't even know where that is. And another printable from a postcard that I have. And on this side is a collage which I did on camera, a stamped image and a printable from Eclectic Eggplant, and then this little die cut. I stamped this lady. This is a vintage book flyleaf with a very faint little green floral pattern, and it's got part of the glued part still attached to it. And this is a vintage bus ticket or something like that. And I just clipped them to that pocket. This is a printable. It might be one of my printables, I can't remember. But it's a billhead from John A. Andrews and Company, Wholesale Groceries. And it's got the writing on it. I folded the bottom end up. I didn't sew it or glue it closed. I added this from a piece of vintage packaging. And this is a digital advertisement for a washer. This machine is furnished complete with the basket holder. The basket holder. The basket is not included. $3.95 for that wonderful machine. And another playing card that went well with the colors. Another William Morris digital. And on the back of this one is printed grid pattern, so you can write on that. And then I just sewed this little patch from a piece of fabric. Another vintage piece is another envelope that I slit open on the sides. And it is dated 1941, I think. Yes, 1941. And it's from a photography service. But you can write on that side. Just a thin brown craft paper, and I did the stamping on this on camera. And the stenciling on that side. This is from a digital kit that I purchased last year, and it's called Victorian Autumn. And I will link that below. I just put one page of that kit in here. On this page, I did this on camera. I just put a vellum pocket with a little scrap of the William Morris digitals and a fussy cut from Eclectic Eggplant digitals. And I made this tag with digitals, vintage wallpaper, and a die cut. And I added paper up here for the tab. And a digital, or a vintage piece that it's either German or Swedish. I think it might be Swedish. And here we have the other side of that ledger printable. I stenciled on that, by the way, and there's another number from a vintage packaging and a page from a 1954 pocket date book, and it's October, and a vintage photo. I love this. Looks like some schoolboys, and vintage photo corners too. And you can journal on the back of that, and I added this mushroom digital. Here's the other side of the pocket page. So there's another stamped journaling spot, wallpaper, die cut, and fussy, digital fussy cut. And then a little vintage note card, so cute. The cat is playing with a lady's hat. She took the feather right out. But I thought this looked like a fall image because the hat would be a fall hat. Look at the cat carrying his feather away. But there's lots of journaling space on this card. And this is a vintage, probably from the 70s, current, maybe not current, but it's a, yes, it is current. It's a post-it note card that I just got at the flea market, but this was perfect for a fall journal. And on the back side is a stamped image and a digital piece and a sticker. There's the other side of that tree patterned lined paper and just some pieces of fabric I sewed on with some vintage lace. And this I got in a Happy Mail from, I think it was from Celeste, and I just glued it on there. She had it all decorated for me, and she also included these tags, and I just added the fussy cut images and I inked around them. This is a silky piece that wraps around from the other side of that paper. Here's the other side of that fashion digital, and I just tucked in this label for club soda because the colors are great with this journal. So you can use this in the journal for collage, or make it a pocket, or just journal on the back, whatever you want to do with it. Here's another vintage card, because it looks like fall colors there. So lots of writing room there. And a postcard. I own this postcard, so and I just printed it. This is a very dark image because I printed it on one sheet of cardstock, and then I wanted to print it again on the other end of the cardstock so I could just get two on one sheet. And I put it in wrong so that it printed twice on the same exact spot. So it's got twice the ink that it needs. But you can it's still beautiful. You can still see what it is. Here's the little booklet I made in a video. It's got a mushroom digital. I tied it with this pretty sari silk that I had dyed. This was the last piece of it, so it was too small to tie it in a bow, so I just tied it in a loose knot, so it's still easy to untie. There is a mushroom digital on the front and the back, and then you just open it up like that, and you have lots of space for journaling. And I just did a little collage on both ends. I'll fix that up. Another Edith Holden page with a piece of sari silk. It's so beautiful. I believe it's the same as this. So you're getting the last of that sari silk. Some stenciling there. The other side of that envelope that I started the book with the Swedish postage and writing on it. This is the other side of it. And then the back cover has a library pocket. This is a vintage library pocket, and I left this as it is because it wasn't used at all, so you have room to write something there. I just stamped up there, and I added some handmade, or some mulberry paper here, and another of Lorna Taylor's stamps. I added this tag. This is wallpaper back here, and a Mrs. Coggs image. This tag has been in my stash, but the colors are perfect for this journal. And a library pocket, or card with a digital of a Victorian image there, and a little bingo journaling card made from an old scrapbook paper. And the autumn journals these little autumn journals are coming with just a little pack of ephemera. I didn't have a lot of paper left over, so there's just a piece or two of paper that you can use for collaging, and some of the elements that I didn't use. So the other two that I already sold, I haven't sent them yet. I just sold them this morning, the day that I'm making this video. So I haven't packed them up yet, of course, so I'm going to include a pack in each, something similar to this. But this is what will come with this journal. So I thank you for watching. I had so much fun making these fall journals, and I'm looking forward to getting started on the next project too. So they just keep on coming. The projects just keep on coming, and they don't show any sign of stopping anytime soon. So I hope you're going to stick with me, and I hope you're curious to see what's coming next, and I will see you in the next video. Have a creative day today. Bye-bye.